Welcome back everyone, my name is Abdullah Gori, and in this video we will talk about CSS selectors. In previous video we have talked about what is CSS and what are the types of CSS, and in this video we will see how we can select HTML element to apply CSS on that. Now first of all, I will open up the introduction to CSS folder, and you can see this is the code that we have write in previous video. And if you haven't watched previous video, make sure to watch that as well so you can get a better understanding of CSS and its types. So here first of all, I will open up this folder with VS Code. I have opened my VS Code. Now I will create a new file and I will name this file as selectors.html. Make sure to name your file .html because this is the HTML file, and if you want to link any external CSS file you can do as well, but in this particular video I will use internal CSS so it will be more understandable. So you can use any type of CSS that I have explained in the previous video depending upon you, but let's use here internal CSS to be more simple. So I will add an exclamation mark here. So it will give us the basic HTML code, and I will change the title as CSS Selectors. So I will say CSS Selectors. I will save this file. Let's go here and open up this CSS Selectors file. Now you can see we only got the title as CSS Selectors. Now let's add some HTML element and let's see what are the different types of CSS selectors available that we can use to apply CSS styling on HTML element. Now here, first of all, I will add an h1 tag. So here I will say, welcome to web designing course for beginners. I will save this file, go back in the browser and refresh it. You can see here, we only got the basic h1 tag. Now here, what I will do, I will add a style tag here so we can apply the internal CSS styles. Now first of all, we have a tag selector. So what we can do, we can type the name of the tag that we want to select, in this case h1, and here we can open up the curly braces, and here we can write any CSS property to apply. So for now, I am saying that I want to make this color as blue violet. If I go back and refresh it, you can see that the color is changed to blue violet. Now let's go in the HTML part, in the body tag, and here I will add a p tag as well. Now here I will say this course is free of cost, and I will say by Alpha Technology. I will save this file, go back in the browser and refresh it. You can see we only got a paragraph tag. There is no styling because we haven't applied there. Now if you want to apply the styling on the p tag as well, you can select the p tag by the tag selector. You can just put the name of the tag, and here you can put any styling. You can say color is tomato. Save this file. You can see the CSS styling is applied. So this is the first HTML selector that we have, which is known as tag selectors. Now after that, we have another selector which is ID selector. Now I will remove these two things. Here I will go in the h1 tag and I will provide it an ID. So ID will be title. So I will save this file. If I go back here, you can see there is no styling because in the CSS, in the style tag, we haven't write anything. Now, if I want to select the h1 element with the help of the ID, then I need to use the hash symbol, and after that I have to type the name of the ID, which is title in this case. Then we can open up the curly braces, and here you can write any CSS property, like you can change the background color to tomato, and you can change the color property to blue violet. I will save this file and go back in the browser. You can see the CSS styling is applying there. Now after that, we have another CSS selector, which is class selector. So let's try how we can apply the class selector. So let's say if you want to create a class, then what you have to do, you have to go inside the start tag of the element. I will say here class, and you can name any class. You can name your own name here. So let's say I say here alpha. Okay, it's just for explaining you that you can put any name here. It is not that you must have to put title or alpha there. You can put any name. Okay, and make sure whatever name you are putting in the class, you have to target the same name. So let's say I want to target I want to select the alpha class. So I will say dot. Make sure to remember that thing, that if you want to select a ID, then you have to use the hash symbol, and if you want to select a class, then you have to use the dot symbol. And if you want to select a tag, in that case you just need to type the name of the tag. Now here I will say dot alpha. It means I want to select the class of the alpha, and here I want to apply some CSS properties like color is tomato. I want to change the font size, and I want to make the font size at 20 pixel, or we can say 30 pixel. I want to change the background color as well, and I want to change the background color as gold. Let's save. So you can see there the class and ID selectors are working. Now these are the three basic selectors that we use. Now after that we can also use group selectors. Now what it means, let me remove all of this code to make it more simple for you. Now what if we want to apply the same styling on H1 and P tag? For that we can use the group selector. What we can do here, we can type the name of the first HTML element that we want to select, which is H1 in this case. Then we can put a comma there, and we can put P. If we open up the curly braces, and let's change the color as blue violet. So I will say color blue violet. If I save this and go back in the browser, you can see there the color of H1 and the paragraph tag is changed. This is the group selector that we have. It means by separating the HTML tag with the help of comma, we can apply the same CSS on multiple HTML elements. Now can we do the same thing with ID and class? And the answer is yes. Let's go back here. Okay, and what if we want to apply the same styling now as well? So what I will do, I will remove these things. I want to apply the background color and the color property, and I want to apply this on the title ID as well as the alpha class. Save this file, go back in the browser, refresh it. You can see this is working as well. You can see here we are getting some of extra spacing, but we don't want that. For that there is a trick that you can use. You can put a star and open up the curly braces. It means this CSS styling will be applied to each and every HTML element that you have in your body. Here we can say padding 0 and margin 0. If I save and go back in the browser, you can see the padding and margin are removed from here. In the HTML and CSS, we get by default some padding and margins, and if you don't want to get the by default padding and margin, you can put a start here and open up the curly braces, and you can put padding 0 and margin 0. What it will do, it will remove the default padding and margin from your HTML web page. Now what I mean by all the HTML element, now if I go and remove the styling of the group selector, and if I say this, you can see there is no styling. But if I go back and put a color as blue violet, save this file, you can see this styling is applied on each and every element. It means star means select all of the HTML tag that you have in your body. Now let me show you some other tips and tricks. So here I will go here, I will say H1 tag. I don't want to apply this color here, so I will say here this course is from Alpha Technology. If I go back and see, we don't get any CSS styling here. Now what I will do, I will go here, I will say H1, and I want to apply the color property is blue violet. Save this one and refresh it. You can see the color of both h1 tags are changed. Now what if you don't want to change the color of both h1 tag? Instead, you only want to change the color of h1 tag which contain the id as title. So what you can do then, you can put the name of the tag, then you can put the hash symbol indicate that you want to select an id, and then you can put the name of the id which is title in this case. Save this file, go back in the browser. You can see the style is only applying on h1 tag which contains a id as title. So this means you want to only apply this CSS color style property on an h1 tag which contain a id, and the id name should be title. And you can put a class here. So let's put the same class as alpha, and let's say you want to select only the h1 tag which contains the alpha class. So you can put h1 dot alpha, and you can change the color to tomato or any other color. Save this file and refresh it. You can see the styling are applying. Another thing is that you can also provide two classes to one HTML element. Now how? You can say alpha2, and in the alpha2, let's say we want to apply dot alpha2, and here we want to change the background color blue. Save this and go back. You can see this background color is changing there as well. Now what you can do more, you can put a class attribute here, and you can give any class name here as well. So you can put alpha2 here. It means the alpha2 will now be applied on the first h1 as well as on the second h1. You can see this is the output that we will get. Now after that, let me show you the one last thing, which is parent-child relationship that we have in our CSS selectors. Let me remove each and everything from here. We have a normal tag which is known as div tag, division tag. Now you can put a div here. You can say div, hit enter, you will get a div tag, and then normally we can apply a class and we can apply the id as well. So let's apply a class here. So I will say this is our container, okay, and this container contains an h1 tag, and in the h1 tag we say welcome to alpha technology, okay, and after that here I will say h1 tag the free course by alpha technology. Save this file, go back in the browser. You can see there is no styling because we haven't applied any styling out there. Now what I want to do, I want to apply this styling on h1 tag. Your answer will be simply we can target the tag selector. We can say color is any color property or color value, which is in this case blue violet. But what if you only want to apply this blue violet color on h1 tag which is inside the container? Then what you can do, you can put dot container. It means go and find the container class, put a space. It means inside the container class you will find an h1 tag, and on that h1 tag apply this color property. If I save and go back in the browser, you can see the color property is only applying on the h1 tag which is inside the container, and it is not applying on h1 tag which is outside the container. So this is a parent-child relationship that we have. I hope you have understand all the different types of CSS selectors that we have covered in this video. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any question or suggestion, you can comment down below. Do share this video with your friends so they can learn as well. Make sure to subscribe our channel and press the bell icon so you get notification whenever we upload any new video to our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.